sexual orientation and gender identity. And the first one we jokingly refer to as lesbian-soccer moms. It's a lesbian couple, they own a soccer store, and they're both moms. Lori has a 21-year-old daughter named Nicole from a previous heterosexual marriage, and Rocky has a 4-year-old daughter, Mia, from artificial insemination. And it's a really heartwarming story about their relationship and their family. Were you out at the time?
I was out in the sense that my family knew.
What was their reaction?
Being that I was raised in a very Catholic family, it was taken initially very, very hard. I had one sister say that she was going to become a nun and pray for my sins, and
she became a lesbian, didn't she?
Yeah. And
did they think that there was going to be eternal damnation for this choice?
Oh yeah, that's what they told me, that I was going straight to hell for it. And I mean that had a big effect on how I stayed in the closet for so long, because if my family reacted, in a very explosive way, I wasn't going to come out to everybody, and go, hey, I'm a lesbian, and expect them to go, oh, whoa, that's cool.
I think the bottom line is every parent wants for their child that you grow up to be happy, normal, and pretty much out of the way of people's hatred. No matter how happy I am and seemingly well-adjusted as a lesbian I am today, I wouldn't wish that on either of my children. Even though I would certainly support them, I wouldn't wish it on my children, because it's not the easiest way.
What point in your relationship did you decide to have a child?
1 or 2 weeks.
I didn't know that. I think I always wanted kids, and after I met Lori, it was solidified that we could actually have more kids. We used the cryobank,
California cryobank,
and they sent us a catalog of all the donors that they had at that point. In the catalog, it just lists their ethnicity, the height, weight, color of eyes, and what their major was in college. And the first one that we pulled out of the packet, he was from Hawaii, where I was born and raised. And I said, well, that's the one I want.
I have to admit, I really wasn't expecting just this overwhelming feeling of gratitude, and how will I go through my life not being able to thank this man in person what he gave us. It's pretty phenomenal.
What transition do you have to go through, or what do you hold back as part of being a public lesbian couple, or lesbian couple with a family?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been pretty public for a long time. We've both been very active in the community. We put on a charity tournament every year. So we've been out and okay about being out for a long time. For the first time in my whole experience, really kind of being out, I feel a little more reluctant to be out, because I don't want to push business away.
Do you feel that you curtail your public physical affection?
Yeah. I know that Rocky doesn't like physical public affection, but there's this sense that I want to be known as a family unit, and I would like to hold her hand, or I would like to do that. Rocky's never been comfortable doing that.
Why?
It's a fear of not knowing what reaction other people will have.
I get jealous when I look at a couple, walking down the street that have just had a baby, and they can be even moderately, not that they're making out on the street, but they're moderately affectionate to each other, and people look at them as a family unit. One of the brightest moments in our lives, when after Mia was born, she was a week old, and we took her into Vaughn's, and the checkers at Vaughn's, who we'd never thought of as ourselves as coming out to them, even though we obviously we shop there all the time, and one of us pulls out the ATM card, and obviously they probably figured it out. But after Mia was born, we went in there and they congratulated both of us, and that to me was, I was overwhelmed, to tell you the truth. It was like we were being recognized as parents that just gave birth to a child, and I think that's what we missed out on, or that's what lesbian couples miss out on sometimes, or lesbian or gay couples. We miss out on it sometimes. Is, here's the happiest moment of your life. You've just created a life together, and those darn heterosexuals, they get all the accolades.
The family you've created, how would you characterize it, and what benefits have you gained from it?
All in all, we have a whole lot of love. Mornings in bed at our house, include, the 21-year-old, the 4-year-old, the 2 moms. If my parents are in town, they come on up. It's like the dog. It's like what I grew up when I was little. Sunday mornings in bed with my parents, reading the paper and drinking, them drinking coffee and, playing. That was the best. That was as good as life got, and that's exactly what I've got now.
And Rocky?
I knew that once I came out, that having a family and creating, and adding to the family, it could be normal. And I love it.